Wow, William. Really love what you've done with the place.
Hey, don't look at me. I just owned it. It was your husband and his idiot brother's job to keep this place clean.
Ex-husband, thank you very much.
Will you two stop your bickering? I want to get out of here as soon as possible.
What's the matter, Joanna? Having flashbacks when you used to work here?
Do us all a favor and shut your mouth, Thatcher. I don't work here anymore. I've moved on to bigger and better things.
Well, excuse me, Miss Kendrick. I didn't know I was in the presence of an artistic genius.
Why don't you take a flying leap at the moon?
There's something crawling at me!
Uh-oh, looks like Princess Buttercup's gonna have a temper tantrum.
Who do you think you are? Just because you're better at doodling pictures does not make you all high and mighty.
Well, it sure beats being
Everybody just cool off. Do you have any idea about Roger invited us down here?
How am I supposed to know? I'm his sister-in-law, not his keeper. Ex-sister-in-law.
Yes! We all heard you the first time!
What the hell?
Is that a ghost?
It appears that all the little rats have come so easily into my trap.
Oh, enough with the theatrics, Roger. We all know it's you. So why don't you crawl out from whatever curtain you're hiding behind and let's get this thing over with.
I'm very glad all of you were able to make it.
What do you want, Roger? Cancel the date just to be here tonight.
Oh, I'm so sorry I ruined your night, Sheila, but trust me, this won't take long. Have a seat, everyone.
I thought you said this wouldn't take long.
Right, this won't take long, but what I'm about to tell you may require you all to sit down.
Always the drama queen, Roger.
Just sit down. I think you of all people will find my little experiment most interesting, Joanna. As all of you know, it was just a few months ago when my brother Charles committed suicide.
Yes, we were all very sorry to hear that, Roger. Your brother's one of the finest men to work.
Oh, stop your masquerade, Thatcher. You wouldn't turn her hair if your mother dropped dead at your feet.
Oh, now just a minute, Blackburn. You can't talk to me like that.
I'm not your slave anymore. You fired me 2 weeks ago. Just another act of charity from the great William Thatcher.
I had no choice, Blackburn. You're spending all your time down here in this damn basement doing God knows what. This place is becoming a mess. You weren't even bothering to guide the customers around. You were burning money.
And that's what it really comes down to, isn't it? I was saving a few cents out of your bank account. You have your grubby little hands in nearly every establishment in this town, and you cried over bad business at a wax museum. I care more about this place than you ever did. Charles and I were the driving force of this museum. We were the reason people showed up in the first place. Why, if it weren't for us, this museum wouldn't even exist.
Now one's dead and the other a nut job.
What'd you say?
You heard me perfectly well, Roger. You're just as crazy as your brother. And it ain't no loss to this world, not even this town, that he's dead and buried.
Sheila, you're so ungrateful. Charles loved you. All he ever did was talk about how much you meant to him. He ended the world to you.
All that creep handed me was a one-bedroom apartment and a paycheck that barely kept food in our mouths. It was time to move on.
Time to move on. You know, Sheila, you know better than the wax figures here in this museum. You're just like them. Cold and empty-handed.
You jerk! I'm not going to take this kind of abuse. I'm leaving this flea bag right now.
You only do what I say! Is that clear?
What gives you the right to push us around, Roger?
Ah, Joanna. It's been so long, has it not? It seems like just yesterday when we were working on the Jack the Ripper figurine together.
I liked the Lady Macbeth figure personally.
Yes, I suppose you would. After all, you did construct it yourself. Right after you stole my brother's original artwork.
You can't prove a thing!
Maybe I can't, but what I do know is that Charles would spend day and night on the design of these wax figures, and the blueprints would mysteriously disappear. Kind of weird, don't you think?
So maybe I did borrow some of your brother's ideas. Big deal. What are you planning to do about it?
I'm so glad you asked that, Joanna. I'll show you all just what it is I've been working on these past few months. Before my dear brother took his own life, he left me several notes. They were scientific in nature, which I found to be rather peculiar. But as I read through them, I realized that he was on to the discovery of the century. He built most of this electric apparatus you see here before he passed away. I was able to reconstruct the rest of it from his notes. In it, he described how he was able to harness enough electrical energy to animate non-living matter.
You mean like give life to things that didn't live before?
I always knew you're the brightest of the bunch, Sheila. That is exactly what I mean.
So
It's absolutely preposterous. You can't possibly do that.
Seems Charles was even more of a lunatic than we gave him credit for.
Don't you say a word about my brother! Charles was a genius, both artistically and scientifically, and more of a human than all three of you combined. Tonight, you will all witness that genius. Before this very hour is over, you will all see these wax figurines live and breathe.
Well, where's the magic you needed?
Silence!
This is what I canceled a date with a rich hunk for. A bunch of funny lights.
I said be quiet!
Just what I thought. It's nothing more than a synthetic man attempt to kind of scare the wits out of us.
No, it works! I tell you, it has to work!
Let's get out of here.
Do you see that? They're moving! They're really moving!
It can't be.
What kind of trick are you up to, Blackburn?
Oh, this is no trickery, good friends. What you see before you is life! But that's not the best part. You see, in my brother's notes, wax figures weren't the only thing my brother showed me had to bring to life. Isn't that right, Charles? I welcome you all to Thatcher's Wax Museum. Here you will see our gallery of horrors, filled with some of the most evil and villainous people to ever live. Now I must warn you, these figures are extremely lifelike. If any of you here have a heart condition or are frightened easily, I strongly advise you to leave the museum now. All right then. You have been warned. Prepare yourselves, my friends. This will surely be the fright of your life.